Hi, good morning, everyone. Welcome to White River Buddhist Temple's October Shotsuki virtual service. I'm Valerie Yamanaka, and I will be chairing this morning's service. Throughout the service, we encourage you to engage in the chat with other attendees and let us know where you're watching from. As a reminder, we are continuing to work through some of the technical aspects of streaming, so please bear with us as we learn and adjust. With that being said, let's get started. Please Gasho for opening meditation. His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama said, "Real compassion comes from seeing the suffering of others. You feel a sense of responsibility and you want to do something for them." Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida. This morning, we will chant Sambujo, followed by Jusege, led by Reverend Warwick. During chanting, we will remember individuals who have passed away in the month of October by reading and displaying their names on the screen with remembrance.
Bujo Mida Nyorai Niudo San Ye Ujo Shaka Nyorai Niudo San Ye Ra Tam Ge Ra Aku. Dragon Trosegan Ishibu Jodo Shigan Humanzo Seifujo Shoga
Kenichi
Tao Muryoko Ui Dai Seishu Usai Shobingu
Naka
Se Fujo Shoga Gashi Jobundo Myosho
and Natsuzara,
Chojipo Kukyo Mishomon Se
Yohei
Fujo
Judo,
Shoga Ryokujin Shonen Yo e
Henry Judo Komatsu,
Shubongyo Shigu Jodo Isho
Matsui Mikami,
Tenichi Jinriki Endaiko Usho
Masue Masi Miyoshi,
Musaido Shoujo Sankumyo Kosai Shuyakunan
Urano
Kai
Sato,
Hichi Egen Meshi Komo An
Kumiko
He
Nishimura,
Sokusho Akudo Tsudaten Zen Shumon
Tai Kato,
Koso Jomanzo Ioro Jipo
Shigeru Toshima,
Nichigaten Shujuki Tenko
Mitsuko
Onpugen
Hamakami.
Ishukai Hozo Kosei Kudoku Ho Jo Dai Shuchu Seppo Shishiku Kuyo Isai Bud Gusoku Shutoku Hon Ganne Shinjoman Toku Isangayo Nyobut Mugechi Tsudat Mihusho Gangaku Erik Toshi Sai Shoson Shigan Yakoka Daisen Okando Koku Shoten Kyo uchi myoke namandambu 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 Ganishiku Dohon Bodai Shin Ojo Arato. Namanda, Namamida, Namanda, 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 Namanda.
Please join me in reading the three treasures. The reading will be displayed on your screen. The three treasures. Hard is it to be born into human life, now we are living it. Difficult is it to hear the teaching of the Blessed One, now we hear it. If we do not deliver ourselves in the present life, no hope is there that we will be free from suffering and sorrow in the ocean of birth and death. Let us reverently take refuge in the three treasures of the truth. I put my faith in Buddha. May we all together absorb into ourselves the principle of the way to enlightenment and awaken in ourselves thy supreme will. I put my faith in Dharma. May we all together be submerged in the depth of the doctrine and gain wisdom as deep as the ocean. I put my faith in Sangha. May we all together become units in true accord, in thy life of harmony, in a spirit of universal brotherhood, freed from the bondage of selfishness. Even through ages of myriads of kalpas, hard is it to hear such an excellent, profound, and wonderful doctrine. Now we are able to hear and receive it. Let us thoroughly understand the true meaning of Tathagata's teaching. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Thank you. Now I'd like to welcome Reverend Warwick, who will give us today's Dharma message.
Namanda, Namanda, Namamida. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our service today, and thank you for joining us for this virtual service. Today, we dedicate our service to those who have gone before us to the pure land of perfect peace during this month and years gone by. We remember our friends, our family, and our Dharma ancestors with warmth and happiness. Please join me in Gassho. Reverently contemplating Amida's directing of virtue for our going forth to the Pure Land, I find that there is great practice, there is great Shinjin. The great practice is to say the name of the Tathagata of unhindered light. This practice, embodying all good acts and possessing all roots of virtue, is perfect and most rapid in bringing about birth. It is the treasure ocean of virtues that is suchness or true reality. For this reason, it is called great practice. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida, Namanda. As a Shin Buddhist, I'm sometimes asked, what is your practice? And we wonder what is meant by practice. There are two parts to being a practicing Buddhist. First, it means that you agree to certain basic ideas or tenets that are the core of what the historical Buddha taught. Secondly, it means that you regularly and systematically engage in one or more activities in a way that's familiar to you, such as meditating, chanting, etc. There are many branches of Buddhism that focus on different aspects of the Buddha's teachings, but for all are united in the acceptance of the Four Noble Truths. For them, the path toward the end of the dissatisfaction actually forms the heart of the Buddhist practice. And the techniques of that prescription is contained in the Eightfold Path. Additionally, practice most often refers to, like I said, a specific activity, such as meditating, or chanting that you might do on a daily basis or even more often. A Shin Buddhist might recite the Nimbutsu every day. Zen and Theravada Buddhists might practice meditation at least every day. Tibetan Buddhists may practice special meditations actually several times a day. Practice can also range from a living, devoted life in the Buddhist monastery to the practical, or rather to a real small practicing of a simple, say, 20-minute meditation only once a day. Now, there's a variety of rituals and practices incorporated by different Buddhist traditions, which are intended to aid on the path to nirvana and enlighten and generate merit or bring blessings to the practitioner or to others, actually. Some traditions use mantras or sacred sounds, which are believed to somehow have supernatural powers and help to move persons much more closer to an awakening experience or enlightenment. So the practice of meditation is actually central to nearly all forms of Buddhism, and it derives directly from the Buddha's personal experiences and teachings. For some Buddhists, meditation is a form of mental concentration that leads ultimately to enlightenment and spiritual freedom. Then for others, there's meditation on quiet sitting. They sit only for the purpose of sitting. Quiet sitting is actually to be absorbed in the quieting inner world of our most basic biological process, that process being breathing. An authority on quiet sitting puts it this way. He says, what does it mean to sit only for the purpose of sitting? We desire to improve ourselves, to erase fears and compulsions, to have better health and better dispositions, to feel more confident and more self-assured. Now, this desire for improvement comes about through the dissatisfaction with what is and what is, for the desire for what might be or for what ought to be. What is, what might be, or what ought to be. By just sitting, our minds become less cluttered by the mights and the coulds and the ought to be. Here at White River Buddhist Temple, we do not sit as a means to realize our true nature and that of the universe, to attain an enlightenment perspective. We simply sit. As an end result, we may develop better concentration, maybe better mental power, or stability of our character, or and perhaps even an overall improvement in our health. But in truth, there's many ways to practice Buddhism, which is a very welcoming religious practice that allows for a great deal of diversity of thought and belief among its millions and millions of followers. But back to the original question, what is your practice? So a good answer to that might be the practice of compassion. As Shin Buddhists, we try to practice compassion in our daily lives. We start with our family and friends, and then we extend outward to all other beings. But when we really try to practice compassion, expressing care and concern, equanimity and love, something gets in the way. We encounter a very huge obstacle, and that obstacle is neither the other, but it is our own self-centered ego. This awareness of this self-centeredness is the starting point of our Shin Buddhist path. As Shin Buddhists, it might be said that listening to our practice is our practice, listening to and hearing the Nimbutsu. And when we truly hear the name, the faith is then awakened in our hearts. Hearing the name is not merely the sounds of Namo Amida Butsu, but hearing Amida Buddha with our whole being, calling to us throughout timeless time. When we hear Amida's voice in our innermost being, faith is then awakened. So in conclusion, I'd like to say that Dr. Taitetsu Uno once explained it in this way. He said, the process of deep hearing culminates with our birth in the Pure Land. But the Pure Land is not the ultimate goal. It's merely a way station from which we return to our world of samsara. Now endowed with the wisdom and compassion, the welfare and salvation of all beings become the ultimate concern. So once again, please join me in Gassho. Reverently contemplating Amida's directing of virtue for our going forth to the Pure Land, I find that there is great practice. There is great Shinjin. The great practice is to say the name of the Tathagata of unhindered light. This practice, embodying all good acts and possessing all roots of virtue, is perfect and most rapid in bringing about birth. It is the treasure ocean of virtues that is suchness or true reality. For this reason, it's called a great practice. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Again, thank you for coming today. And for those of you who would like to join us at our White River Buddhist Temple Quiet Sitting Meditation Session, on the internet, you can navigate to our website, locate the temple calendar, click on the dates you wish to join, Wednesday or Sunday mornings. And when you have chosen a date, click on that, and additional information will pop up. There's a Zoom link there to join. Click that, and we'll see you there. Today, after this service, we will have a chat room. You can also go to the date, today's date on the website calendar, and click on, I think it's called Sangha Gathering or something like that. You can figure it out what's on the website by knowing what to join, and we'll see you there in a few moments. Again, thank you very much, and have a great day. Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda, Namanda.
Thank you, Reverend Warwick, for that meaningful message. At this time, we will read the Judo Shinju Creed together. The words will be displayed on the screen, so please follow along. Entrusting the vow of the Buddha and reciting the sacred name, I shall proceed through the journey of life with strength and joy. Revering the light of the Buddha, reflecting upon my imperfect self, I shall strive to live a life of gratitude. Following the teachings of the Buddha, discerning the right path, I shall spread the true Dharma. Rejoicing in the compassion of the Buddha, respecting and aiding one another, I shall do my best to work towards the welfare of society. Thank you. Today we are fortunate to have a musical recording of Ondok-san 2 performed by Don and Judy Gardner. Please join us in singing along as the words will be displayed on your screen. Thank you, Don and Judy, for that. We sincerely appreciate your musical talents. Before we end today's service, I'd like to make a few announcements. First, as a friendly reminder, in-person temple operations remain suspended indefinitely. Your safety is our top concern, and we're working hard to find virtual opportunities to engage our Sangha. All service dates and links can be found on the temple calendar or the website. Our next virtual service will be Eshini Kakushini service on October 11th at 10:30 a.m. Reverend Candace Shibata will be our guest speaker. Before every service, as Reverend Warwick mentioned, we will hold Socializing with the Sangha. It's a Zoom meeting for Sangha members to see each other, catch up, and discuss the Dharma. Socializing with the Sangha will start at 10:10 a.m. before each virtual service, and the link will be sent via email prior to each service, so please join us for that. I'd like to thank everyone who made our first Timeless Favorites cooking class virtually a success. Our next class will be on October 31st, so look out for an announcement on what we'll be cooking and details to register. Reverend Warwick continues to maintain regular working hours, so feel free to contact him if you have any questions. And finally, if you don't already, please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and our website for the latest information. So I think those are all of our announcements. So at this time, please gasho for closing meditation. When watching after yourself, you watch after others. When watching after others, you watch after yourself. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda. Before we close today, I'd like to thank Reverend Warwick, Rona for helping set up, Dawn and Judy for the music, Tessa, who's moderating our Socializing with the Sangha, and Kelsey, who is managing the IT today, for making today's service possible. And thank you all for joining our virtual service today. We hope you enjoyed it and appreciate you joining us from wherever you are. Hope to see you again. Take care.